Afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the February 5th meeting of the San Dimas Rotary Club. My name is Steve Scott. I am the president of the club. Let's go around the room and have everybody introduce themselves. We have a guest today here. Chris, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. Christopher Bautista, a financial advisor. I am working from a Panera today, so uh, that's why the background. But happy to be here. Thanks a lot for the invite, Raymond.
Thanks for joining us, Chris. Grab a U-Pick too and enjoy it while you're there. We also have our newest Rotarian, Elizabeth. How you doing?
And good day to y'all. So happy to be here. Very excited. I am zooming from my home, so hopefully my dogs will be quiet.
Thanks
Nice.
so much for joining the club and joining the meeting today. We really appreciate you being here. Mr. Glenn Johnson, how are you, sir?
Doing well for a rainy day. Glenn Johnson, member of Satellite Club Military Family Support and Secretary, San Dimas Masonic Lodge.
Thanks for being here, Glenn. And the smiling face of Marilyn Sparks, one we always like to see. How are you, Marilyn?
I'm okay. How about you all? It's a little
Doing all
crazy.
right.
I'm actually prepping for a commission meeting with Supervisor Barger. That'll be happening in a few hours. My name is Marilyn Sparks. I'm an insurance agency owner with Farmers Insurance, and I also serve as the Los Angeles County Insurance Commissioner as well as a fellow Rotarian.
Excellent. Thank you, Marilyn. And Margarita, how are things today?
Things could be better. I had a really horrible hearing this morning. But Margarita McGee, local attorney, and a whole bunch of other things.
A whole bunch of other things, indeed. Doran, how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing well. Good to see everybody still in the status of visiting Rotarian, but we're working on that. I'm officially a member of the West Covina Club, but always great to hang out with y'all. Also, I serve as Chief Executive Officer of Foothill Transit, San Dimas Planning Commission, Chamber Board, and all sorts of other fun things. So good to be with you.
Great to be with you as well, Doran. Thanks very much. And Dominic, how are things?
They are radical. My name is Dominic Torres. I'm with High Point Brewing. I've done a few things in the city. Bummer it's a rainy day. That's not really the California way. I thought I paid a lot in taxes for the sun, but I guess that doesn't always work out. But either way, excited to be here.
Glad you're here, Dominic. And last but not least, Raymond Foster, how are you, sir?
Hey, Steve, good afternoon. Raymond Foster, immediate past president and your Zoom master. And Sylvia is joining us right now.
Oh, okay. Well, we will wait till Sylvia logs on and give her a chance to say hello to everybody.
Or maybe not. There she is.
Hi, Sylvia. How are you today?
Good. Hi, everybody. My name is Sylvia Molinas. I'm the CEO of the San Dimas Chamber of Commerce. Hi.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being here, Sylvia. Okay, as I always say, this is the reason we are all here, and what Zoom has allowed us to do is have incredible guests from all over the world. And we have another wonderful one today. Kirsten Bloomquist is a seasoned clinical hypnotherapist and transformational coach with over 13 years of experience helping individuals break free from lifelong negative patterns and achieve their personal and professional goals. With a client base that includes professional athletes, doctors, celebrities, and high net worth individuals, Kristen has developed a unique method that reprograms the mind to foster clarity, happiness, and energy. As the author of Power Now, she shares her step-by-step process to empower others to transform their lives and unlock their true potential. Kristen, thanks so much for being here, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for having me. And I already love the energy that everyone is bringing here. So thank you very much. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to unlock your potential and use it to create a fulfilling life. So within us all is more potential than we realize. And this power can change your life for the better or for the worse. For some people, that power seems beyond their control, while for others, they've learned how to master it and how to achieve their heart's desires. The same power can cause debilitating fears or phobias that block one person from success while guiding another person towards leading a life of courage. That same power can cause horrible habits of self-sabotage and defeat for someone, while creating healthy habits for somebody else. And that same power can create inner turmoil and cause a person to enter a freeze response, staying stuck where they are, while that power can cause another person to soar to the highest of heights. What is that power, you might be wondering? It is the mighty subconscious mind. And I will show you how to unlock its potential within yourself and how to use it to create a fulfilling life. I'm Kirsten Bloomquist, and I'm trained as a clinical hypnotherapist and a transformational coach. I'm the author of the book, Power Now, The Art of Getting What You Want. And my zone of genius is the subconscious mind and unleashing the unique brilliance that we all possess. Perhaps you've already achieved many of your goals and lifelong dreams, or perhaps there's still a few that you're not sure why you haven't been able to reach them just yet. Have you ever wondered why you are the way you are, or why you do the things you do? Why certain habits seem stuck in place? We all know that in order to change our life, we need to change the actions we take, and we need to change the thoughts we think. And I'm sure you've noticed that there were times where you tried to make a change in the past. However, you found yourself reverting back to the same old habits and the same old routines. Change can be challenging, and it can take a lot of willpower and a whole lot of effort. These are some of the common things that people think they need to do in order to access their internal potential. However, you don't really need to do them. Such as meditating for 2 hours a day, who has time for that, remaining high vibe only, telling yourself cliche phrases like just think positive or just believe in yourself, attending all the seminars and retreats or listening to every single podcast, using affirmations and mantras, even if they feel fake to you, relying on willpower. What if I told you that there's another way? And the other way appears to be a shortcut to transforming your life without having to rely on willpower or motivation. Lifelong habits can disappear within a few short hours. Fears and phobias can dissipate. Stress and anxiety can transmute into confidence and clarity. That all sounds too good to be true, right? Not in my world. And for the record, I do live in the same world as you. I am human. I just have a different understanding on the way the mind works. I understand the depths of the mind. I'll teach you a few tips that you can start to apply today so that you can achieve mental clarity and peace of mind. Who here would like more of that? Now, here's what you can do to start today to begin to master your mind and use this power for your benefit. Because when you master your mind, you master your life. So tip number 1 is to become aware of the power of your focus. Awareness is always the first step. So you can become aware of your goals and your desires, and also be aware of what is preventing you from achieving those goals. And you want to use your focus to direct your energy towards finding a solution as opposed to being obsessed over the problem. And now this presentation is going to be more of a demonstration so that you can experience a small sliver of the potential that is within yourself. Now, at this moment, I would like you to think of a goal that you have. And just thinking to yourself, keeping it to yourself, think of something that you would like to achieve, but you haven't gotten there yet. And have it clearly in your mind. Now, I would like you to ask yourself, why don't you have that goal yet? Why haven't you achieved it? What has been holding you back or preventing you from getting there? Is it perhaps a fear such as imposter syndrome or fear of success? Is it a habit such as overthinking, which leads to paralysis by analysis? Or is it a feeling such as not feeling like you're good enough or that you don't know enough? Whatever it is, have it in your mind and just pick one, either a fear or a thought or a feeling. And now this might be a tricky question. When did that thought or fear show up in your life? Was it recent? Or was it over the past couple of years or maybe the last decade? Wrong answer. And now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how is that the wrong answer when you don't even know what my fear was or what's holding me back? And that's very true. I don't know in this moment what is holding you back because I can't read your mind. But what I can tell you is this: the obstacle you're facing was planted in your subconscious mind from a young age during the formative years between the ages of 0 to 7. And that created what we call your mental blueprint. And now you might be wondering, does that mean that my life is predestined, or do we have the capabilities to create our own fate? So I might as well explain how the mind works, and I'll be brief about it, and I'll tell you only what you need to know to become the master of your mind. So there are two main parts of the mind that I like to teach people about. The first is the conscious mind, and the conscious is made up of your willpower, your short-term memory, and your conscious awareness. It is also your logical, thinking, analytical mind. And guess what? It's said to be only 5% of your mind. You're taught how to use this part of your mind in school. Well, I'm here today to teach you about the approximately other 95% of your mind and how you can access that, because that's where your potential is. And you're not taught how to use this in school. Your subconscious mind consists of your habits, your fears, characteristics, skills, and long-term memories. It is your emotional mind. Now, think of it this way. You have your phone, and it has software and apps on it. And some of those apps, they came pre-installed on your phone. There was apps that you didn't ask for, apps that you'll never use, and there's some apps that are really useful and very fun, and they make life easier. Sometimes the apps get a bit glitchy and they need to be updated or removed and replaced because they become outdated. And some apps you use more than others. Some apps take up more space and they're running in the background and they slow your phone down. The same can be said for your subconscious mind. There are beliefs that were handed down to you from your parents or your guardian figures when you were younger. And there are beliefs that you didn't choose and beliefs that weigh on you and slow you down. And some of those beliefs turned into your habits, your fears, and your characteristics. They became your mental blueprints for who you are and who you will be and the way that you experience your life. And most people will go throughout their entire life not knowing that they have a say about the programming that is within their subconscious mind. They are going through life by default instead of by design. So if you're not happy, you're not as happy as you want to be, you can change that. If there's a fear you'd like to overcome, you can eliminate that fear. And if there's a habit that you want to stop, you can transform that habit into something better. I just got my cat here who had surgery. I'll try to keep her out of the way. So you can transform your habits into something healthier instead. And no, it has nothing to do with telling yourself to just think positive. Instead, you need to address this issue from the root cause of it, because that is where your mental blueprint is. That's the root cause. And the root cause is within the subconscious mind. The way I do that with my clients is through a variety of techniques and somatic tools, such as clinical hypnotherapy. And hypnotherapy, yes, you heard the word hypnosis in there. It is the combination of hypnosis and therapy. So hypnosis, very simply put, it is a relaxed state of mind where we bypass the conscious mind, that 5%, and we enter the subconscious mind, that 95% of the mind, because that's where your programming is. And I know there's all sorts of myths about hypnosis, and I can only tell you this. The way that I practice hypnosis with my clients is the client is fully in control the entire time. They remember everything that happens during the session, and they they feel incredibly relaxed during that session. They feel as though they're in a dreamlike state or in a flow state, and they gain the understanding of why they are there, who they are, why they are the way they are, and they start to understand how their mind works, which is timeless knowledge that they can use for the rest of their lives. So because the subconscious mind knows why you're holding yourself back from your desires, or why you keep repeating the same patterns, same fears, your subconscious mind holds the solution to overcoming the obstacle that's in your way. And now, hypnosis is merely suggestions. It's suggestions that are aimed at your subconscious mind. There's no magic to it. Believe me, I wish I was cool enough to know a few magic tricks, but there's no magic. This brings me to tip number 2 for today, is understanding the power of visualization. And visualizing is simply mentally rehearsing the life you want, because your mind will always choose the familiar over the unknown, which is one reason why some people are afraid of success or afraid to create change. When you picture yourself already having what you want, it becomes familiar to you. And we're going to get into a little demonstration right now. And there's no hypnosis involved here because I charge good money for that. But what we're going to do is we're going to use visualization involving your imagination. And I highly recommend that you follow along with this to the best of your ability, because then you will get to experience a small sliver of the power of your mind. So I'm going to ask everyone to please close your eyes. And I would like you to visualize or imagine yourself back at home in your kitchen, and picture yourself walking over to your refrigerator, opening the door, and on the top shelf, you see a bright yellow lemon. Imagine yourself reaching in to grab the lemon and closing the fridge door. See yourself walking over to the counter where you slice fruits and vegetables. There's a cutting board there with the knife you use to slice fruits. Picture yourself slicing a wedge out of that lemon. And now I would like you to imagine taking that lemon wedge in your fingers and bringing it close to your nose. Perhaps you can even smell it. And now I would like you to imagine taking a big juicy bite out of that sour lemon. I wonder if your cheeks start to pucker or if your mouth starts to salivate because of the tart, tangy lemon juice. Go ahead and swallow the lemon juice and allow your eyes to open. Now, who here experienced their mouth watering? For those who did, congratulations. Good job. Good job. So congratulations. You followed my suggestions and you experienced the power of your thoughts and your focus. And here's the thing. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. So you used your thoughts to trigger a chemical reaction in your body, and that's the start of your digestive process, salivation. And if thinking about biting a lemon can trigger a chemical response within your body, imagine what your thoughts are doing on a continuous basis. That's why stress plays an important role and can lead to many types of sickness and disease. So your thoughts can make you sick, or they can make you well. In fact, we have medical proof of this already. Perhaps you've heard of the placebo effect. That's where people in clinical studies are given a sugar pill and they think they're taking medication. So they begin to feel positive results. However, most people have not heard of the opposite, which is called the nocebo effect. And this is medical evidence of the mind causing negative effects. When people in the same clinical studies believe they're taking medication that will cause negative effects, then they start to experience those negative side effects. Even though there's no medication, their thoughts plus their expectations create their experience. Which brings me to tip number 3, the power of your expectations. You want to use the knowledge of the placebo effect and the nocebo effect to your benefit. Your expectations shape your experience. There's a mantra that I like to repeat in my head, and it's something that I recommend using. So this is what I repeat in my head, and I repeat, something wonderful is about to happen. And what I like about this, it shifts your mood and it gets you focused on looking for more positive without having to force yourself into thinking positive when it feels fake for you. So are you beginning to see the power of your mind and how it can impact your life? This brings me to tip number 4, is understanding the power of your thoughts and words. Now remember, your thoughts triggered the chemical reaction in your body when you thought about the lemon. Your thoughts and your words are directing the power of your mind and using that power to create either something positive or something negative. There's no neutral when it comes to the subconscious mind. This is why it's important to master your mind so you direct the energy into creating what you want. And tip number 5, this might be the most important one, is to update your mental blueprint. If an issue persists, a habit you can't overcome, or you're remaining stuck at a plateau despite your best efforts, that's a sign that there's something in your subconscious mind that is holding you back. And when you get to the root cause and heal that part of the mind, it's like updating your phone. You'll notice that you function better with more energy and more clarity, as if you've become the 2.0 version of yourself. It's updating the mental blueprint for your life. Are you beginning to see? It all comes back to the subconscious mind. And now, here is a little bonus tip. If you're ready to dive into your subconscious mind and become the intentional creator of your life, my book, Power Now, will walk you through step by step how to do that. And I've included the most effective tools to change your life and to transform your mind. So I have included tools inside my book, such as self-hypnosis, because in my opinion, hypnosis is the fastest and most powerful tool to access your subconscious mind. I've also included tools for manifesting and rewiring unhealthy habits and turning them into healthy habits. Also, I teach you how to wire your mind with what I call a happiness button. And if you're interested, you can order the digital ebook version on my website, or if you prefer the physical copy. My book, Power Now, is currently, it's out of stock. However, it is coming back into stock and it will be shipped in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So it is coming. And what I can offer for those of you who pre-order your copy is that I'll pay for the cost of the book and you only have to cover the cost of the shipping. So the book is free and then you just pay for the shipping. Plus, there's several bonuses that I include when you order my book, and you can order copies at www.feelingpowerful.com/shop. And if you're wanting help with overcoming any of the obstacles that you're experiencing, or you're looking to have less stress and more clarity and peace of mind, I do offer private sessions online. And many of my clients say that they experienced more results with me than in 10 years of therapy because I work on getting to the root cause. So if you'd like to learn more about that, the exact strategies I use and what that would look like in your life, you can also go to www.feelingpowerful.com/shop. Thank you so much for having me. And I believe we do have time for any questions.
Kristen, thank you so much. That was awesome. Can you do me a favor and put the link to the website in the chat just so everybody has it? That's number one. Number two, it really interested in going through the 5 different things that you talked about. I'm sure one hit home with other people. For me, I absolutely self-sabotage with thoughts and words, thinking about myself on the golf course and when adversity strikes and when I tell myself, this is what you do, this is how you fail. So it's like, yep, that's me. I have at least enough self-awareness to realize that part of things. It's just a matter of how to improve upon it. So I looked on Amazon for your book while you were talking. I will absolutely be buying your book. I really loved everything you talked about, even from the beginning when you said you described your zone of genius as opposed to area of expertise. It's just such a powerful and positive way to talk about what you are good at. So thank you for that. I appreciate the way you framed a lot of your presentation. Do we have any questions for Kristen? Come on, Casey. You always have a question.
Well, we can ask questions, we can make comments. I loved what you brought, and it was wonderful. What is what's your most enjoyable starting point with somebody who like what would be your ideal person that would say, all right, I don't really think it'll work, but like what's that place that you go, ah, this is going to be fun?
Oh, that's interesting. To be honest, what I find, what always blows my mind is when someone comes to me and they're really like in a bad spot. They're feeling down and out. They're so stressed and burnt out and like nothing's working for them. And they're in this state that nothing's going to help me. And so they come to me skeptical because everyone's skeptical, thinking this is some sort of voodoo or magic or something. And it's always amazing to me to see how much they transform and how much they surprise themselves. And they are becoming a new person with new thought patterns, new habits. And just to see them each week when they're returning to me and telling me, like, I no longer have these negative thoughts holding me back. And like, I'm noticing that I want to go to the gym and I never wanted to go. It's things like this that it just always shocks me to hear it because it's such a dramatic shift that you can see.
Excellent. Thank you, Kristen. Marilyn, did you have a question?
Yes. What is the professional makeup of your client base?
What do you mean by that?
Like, do you see a lot of golfers? Do you see attorneys?
It has been quite the mix, to be honest. Over my career, I do get a lot of people who are already very highly successful professionally, doctors, nurses, they have these very stressful careers, professional athletes, people like that. But then I do also get people that are more regular and not as highly achieved too. So it's been quite a mix. There hasn't really been just one type of person, but I guess it's just people who either they're so stuck and they're wanting change, or people who are just curious of like, I'm doing well, perhaps I can do better.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marilyn. Do we have any other questions for Kirsten? Yeah, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Kirsten. That was really informational, very thought-provoking. I have a two-part question. The first one is, can you just expound a little bit on how affirmations can be powerful in maybe rewiring your thought process? And the second question is, do you know anything about how frequencies, you hear a lot of talk about frequencies. I'm talking more about tones, things like that can improve or help you rewire your thought process.
Okay. So affirmations, they are very helpful for people who are already doing well in life, because it's that mental chatter that you're reinforcing the things that you want and who you are. And it is always great to have positive things in your mind opposed to negative ones. I do find that sometimes they can have a bit of a rebound effect on people who are in a bad place, because let's say if you're broke and you're telling yourself I'm a millionaire, your mind is like, no, you're not. Or if you're really shy and you're telling yourself I'm so confident, and your mind's like, no, you've never been, right? So sometimes that can backfire. So with affirmations, this is why I like to tell people kind of this stair step from where you're at, depending where you're at, right? Like if you're already doing good and the affirmations are feeling good, keep that up, keep that flowing. But if you're finding that your mind kind of fights you a little bit and has that negative mental chatter of doubting yourself, then it's creating that stair step. So that's why I like the mantra of like, something wonderful is about to happen, because that, instead of making it to do with yourself when maybe you're not as accomplished as you want to be, gets your mind looking for something positive, as well as even just telling yourself things are improving a little bit more each day, or I'm becoming more confident today, right? So it's, instead of the full out I'm super confident and you don't believe that, just saying I'm becoming more confident, I'm becoming a confident person. I find that could be more helpful. And people who still can't get on board with that, that's when we need to work on their internal mental chatter with hypnotherapy. And then frequencies, yes, these are powerful. They do have an effect on your brain waves. So with hypnosis, a lot of the programs that I use something called binaural beats. I don't know if any of you have heard those before. Binaural beats. So what they do is their brainwave entrainment. So they're training your brainwaves to slow down and to access a more calmer state of mind. So it will be similar to a deep state of relaxation or meditation. So you can find they can help you to focus more. You can use them while you're working. They help you to be more creative. And there's isochronic ones too. So brainwave entrainment with frequencies. Did that answer your question?
It did. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks very
Anyone
much. Any other
else?
questions? Okay, well, Kirsten, again, thank you so much for your time, for your energy, and for your education today. And if you haven't, I haven't checked the chat, but if it's in there. Fantastic. I will be on the website shortly. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was such a pleasure.
All right, have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, let's move on to the next part of our meeting, our Fine Master. Casey, take it away.
All right, hold on. Let me hypnotize you first so that I can get. No, I'm kidding. Hey, welcome to our Fine Master. You get to speak, you get to share, you get to talk. I would love to hear from each of you about what you'd love to say is fine, is not fine, or you can tell somebody else that they're fine. But find yourself some money to talk. Who's up?
Well, I got to go first. I'm going to find myself $20 for calling Kirsten Kristen for about the first 10 minutes of that meeting. I'm not going to self-sabotage and talk bad about myself. Just made a mistake. So $20 for me.
$20 will get you about 5 minutes of hypnotherapy, so it's a good money spent. Keep going.
All right. My only other fine to you, Casey, I was actually going to fine myself for you bringing Elizabeth to the club, but then you showed up late and she showed up early. So now I'm fining you $5 because she beat you here.
Owned it. Somebody else.
I would like to find myself because I have not paid my dues. So I don't know exactly how and where to do that. But find myself $20 for that. If someone could point me in the right direction, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
We will absolutely point you in the right direction and let you know that finding ourselves is actually, you've already agreed to pay your dues. Finding yourself is when you got something to talk about, you want something to share. And that's why we say you can say what's fine, what's not fine, or somebody else is fine.
Okay, well, I do have something to share.
Okay.
The military fundraiser, I told you this yesterday, Casey, but the boxes to collect for the military families. I did get permission to set 2 of those up, one at my gym in San Dimas, which is Fit Body Boot Camp, located on Cienega. And the person that owns that is an LA County sheriff, and he's also a former Marine, and his wife. And then the after-school care program at one of the elementary schools at Bonita Unified is also agreed to set a box up for me. So
fantastic.
Even better because that one's in Laverne, so we'll take some of
Laverne, yes.
We'll take some of their donations. Good stuff. Thanks, Ellie. Great job. Who else has to find themselves?
All right. Thank you, Casey.
My pleasure.
Moving on to Action 360, couple items to go over quickly. First, Ryla is coming up for Chris and Ellie. Ellie, you were at our presentation where the kids went to TLC. That was for 8th grade students. We have Rotary Youth Leadership Academy coming up in March, which is for high school juniors. And so we'll do the same thing. We'll have them come back with their parents and talk about their experience. I am trying to confirm the deadline of when applications must be submitted by. I have not received any emails as to when that is, but the good news is we already have 5 applications in, 3 girls, 2 boys. So that we are ahead of schedule there. Anybody have any questions, comments on Ryla before I move on? Okay.
Steve, how many,
Next up,
Steve, how many
teacher mini
slots?
grants. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to verify how many students are we planning to send?
We budget to send one boy and one girl
Okay.
each year. As a Rotary, I don't know about your club and Dorn, how many, if any, students you send, but one of the things that we have found over the last couple of years is four is ideal.
Yep.
Over the last couple of years, if we have a student, a boy and a girl going and a boy and a girl alternate, they almost always get invited because another club has paid, but then doesn't have students. So we're already ahead of that right now, and we still have some time.
Gotcha. And I'm just double checking my bus roster to make sure I've got the right number of folks from our club set up for that. So
Perfect. Thank you.
cool.
Okay, moving on to teacher mini grants. Obviously, we had a presentation. I thought it went very, very well. Thank you, Raymond. I did have a couple requests from the teachers for these pictures, so they have been forwarded to them.
Eve, you're so handsome.
Yeah, I'm adorable. I am handsome, trying to be positive. No negative thoughts and words. So that actually went very, very well. Raymond, have you received any of the updated applications from
Not
Holy
yet.
Name?
No,
Okay.
I have not received anything from Holy Name, but we did receive confirmation they are in that's in the works.
Okay, just so everybody knows, the day of our mini grant presentation, I received an email from the principal from Holy Name of Mary, who is always involved in our mini grant program. Her email was, "Hey, when's the mini grant program? We have teachers who would like to sign up." Well, I had mailed, like I do every year, I had mailed applications to them back in November. Clearly, they were not received. So we had budgeted a certain amount and didn't use all of it. So I contacted the principal and told her we would open up a specific mini grant window for her teachers. And it actually runs through next Friday, the 14th. As of now, I have received none, but I know that she got the applications. She confirmed that. So we will see if we get any grants, and they will go through the same review process at that point. So that's all I have on teacher mini grants. Any other comments? Any other questions? Okay. Moving on, March food drive, Raymond.
So just to touch teachers a different way, we have Teacher of the Year coming up. The foundation will be doing a $500 sponsorship. Also Monday night, the Masonic Lodge has agreed to a $250 sponsorship. The San Dimas Chamber is going to be carrying a lot of weight on the entire district. All the educational facilities within the district, which is 22 altogether. I know in San Dimas that includes McKinley, Holy Name of Mary, Camp Rocky. I don't know, there's other ones in Laverne which I am less familiar, but the total number is 22. So we also have that many of us as chamber board members are working on. So feeding military families, thank you, Elizabeth, for talking about the boxes. Let me know how many you need. This is Fantastic Sam's called me. They have a new owner there, Sylvia, a new owner at the Fantastic Sam's. And so she has a box there, and I have her contact information. We'll talk to her about becoming a chamber member also, and perhaps a Rotarian. I dropped off Rotary literature. We also have them at Red Robin and at Margarita's office there on Cataract, as well as at the chamber office, and also at the 29 Palms Eagles Lodge Airy. They're going to be a collection point in the desert. And what we'll do is on the 10th, when we're doing the delivery, they will meet us at the Adobe Road DMV parking lot, and we'll load on any supplies they have. So desert supplies don't have to come all the way into the city and be taken back out. We'll actually do a little stop out there. Now, we have a new website for feeding military families, so I thought I would share a little bit of that with you. It was done, it was completely donated to do this, but it's very comprehensive in photographs and in the use of why food insecurity matters, how you can help. It is feedingmilitaryfamilies.org, ways to get involved. A couple of really good things about this is the way we can put events up on it, and also it now has a donate button here. And it's not hooked up yet, but it will. When it's hooked up, it will go to this page, which is a foundation landing page for PayPal. And so people can donate directly, either one time, monthly, or yearly, to these food campaigns. And as you know, we're working on the banner for across Bonita and Arrow, and feedingmilitaryfamilies.org with the Rotary emblem and the Masonic emblem. That's probably going to be the basis of that. Lastly, I did have a communication with Ernie Billy. As you know, Ernie is the LASO sheriff's captain who has coordinated with the sheriff's department. And, as I suspected, they're flat drained energy wise. And so what he has said is they may be able to do something short term towards the end of the month, but it's not going to be like it has been in the past. So this food drive, we're really going to need all of our other organizations and people to step up because, quite frankly, our first responders are tapped out right now. As I think everyone is suffering from what I've coined as charitable fatigue. We're all trying to do something for the many people. Lastly, with our military, the $2,000 in gift cards was distributed by the LA County Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. They gave me the exact locations they sent them to. Where is it here? So they went to the disaster recovery centers at the UCLA Research Park West, Altadena DRC, and Pasadena City College Community Education Center. And those were given out to veterans who have been impacted by the fires. So that's $2,000 that we got into the fire thing through our efforts last November. That's all, unless there's questions. That's all I have on the food drive.
All right. Thank you very much, Raymond. Would you mind throwing up the calendar, please?
Calendar. By the way, Kirsten joined us from Canada, which is another, I think it's so cool. We get people from everywhere that are speakers. So next week is a board meeting, and then we have Heidi King is coming, and she talks that she's a Rotarian, but her thing is, and share this with your friends who have children who are of college age. This is how to get into colleges. She's one of those professionals that assists people in getting their children into the college that they want to go into. Hopefully I'm certain that she does it legally. And then we have a planning meeting for the food drive. Dr. Sudesh Kannan, he's a motivational speaker. He's also from Canada. He'll be talking to us. And then we go into March, the Alzheimer's Association, Hardwired for Peace. And on the 16th, Lester Barron will be talking about an effort to build up livestock in the Caribbean through a company called Dominica Livestock. And let's see, Adrian Heron, the 7 leadership habits for engaged and accountable team. And then finally, we're looking at trying to get in May, embracing the martial spirit, another motivational speaker. We have 2 meetings left to get for Steve's year, or 3 meetings. And so if you have speakers you'd like to see or topics you'd like me to research, please let me know. And we'll see if we can calendar those out into June. And then we begin on Mike's year. Lastly, Mike is working on a kickout party, Steve. So as soon as you get a date, let me know.
How about like February 12th?
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good in June, other than the week of the 8th is probably the only bad week I have then.
Okay, I'll speak to for those who don't know, Mike Wallace, our incoming president, and so we have a kickout party where we kick out the old president and we have a sort of a celebration of the incoming president. So that will be sometime in June. A little get together. That's it. That's all we have.
I move that we bring back the roasting of the outgoing president, possibly at maybe a campground somewhere on the bluffs.
So let me just, so I understand this correctly. You want to roast the self-admitted anxious, low self-esteem person. That seems like a really terrible idea, Casey. On a bluff, no less.
On the bluff, on the bluff. Those were good days. Those were good days. That was the first time we kicked you out, Steve.
I will never forget. Warm tequila has not left my body since. Okay,
And
folks, thanks very much. Go ahead, Ray.
Anywhere but the RV East Shore Park on the Bluffs.
Yes, yes,
In the
absolutely.
summertime in the RV park is no.
Right, agreed. Okay, everybody, thanks as always for attending. We know how busy everybody is, so it is truly appreciated. We have not had a board meeting in a couple months. So next week, while we don't have a ton of stuff that has to be decided right now, it'll be an important board meeting just to kind of go through where we are and what we have going on for the rest of the year, especially with the food drive coming up. Chris, thank you so much for joining us today. Hope to see you again. And Margarita, you have a question?
Not a question.
Comment?
Just a reminder that next Tuesday at 8:30 is coffee hour at my office, and
Okay.
to benefit the food drive as well.
Listen. All right, everybody. Stay dry, stay warm, and we will see you all in a week.